Welcome back to Bizarre Creatures, the definitive channel dedicated to consistently uncovering the most profound, unbelievable, and truly bizarre biological creations lurking in forgotten corners of the earth. Today, our investigative journey takes us deep into the shadowed, densely humid forests and damp, mossy habitats of Central Africa, specifically seeking out a creature whose defense mechanism is both extraordinary in its design and utterly horrific to contemplate. This extraordinary amphibian is known as the hairy frog, scientifically classified as Trichobatrachus robustus, but it is far more commonly referred to by the chilling moniker, the horror frog, and we are about to reveal exactly why it has earned that unsettling name. Its initial, seemingly robust and innocent appearance, especially when nestled among the wet leaves and moss, cunningly hides a dark and shocking evolutionary truth. This unassuming frog is nature's own extreme survivalist, truly the real-life counterpart to a comic book superhero like Wolverine. The thick, hair-like strands that you see prominently covering the male frog's body, especially during the crucial breeding season, are surprisingly not composed of true hair at all, but rather specialized, highly vascularized strands of skin and arteries known as dermal papillae. These unique, finger-like papillae are absolutely crucial for efficient cutaneous respiration, actively helping the male frog absorb vital oxygen directly from the water when he must stay submerged for extended, motionless periods while diligently guarding his clutch of precious eggs. However, the true source of its terrifying biological power lies not in its furry appearance, but rather hidden deep within its hind feet, where a defense mechanism so extreme is stored that it dramatically redefines the entire concept of survival, instinct, and sacrifice. When the hairy frog senses immediate and inescapable danger from an impending predator, it prepares itself to execute a biologically shocking maneuver that is painful, physically irreversible at the moment, and requires immense physiological fortitude. In a desperate, adrenaline-fueled action of self-preservation, it deliberately and forcefully breaks the small bones in its own toes, rapidly arming itself with a terrifying, temporary set of deadly, razor-sharp, retractable claws. It is essential to understand that these improvised weapons are not true claws made of tough keratin, like those of a mammal, but rather jagged, pointed fragments of the creature's own bone itself, specifically derived from the final segment, the terminal phalanx. Each of the frog's powerful hind feet contains up to 5 of these jagged, lethal weapons, making a total of 10 bone spikes, all ready to instantly slash, pierce, and puncture the soft, vulnerable tissues of any predator that attempts to grasp or consume it. The underlying toe bones are securely anchored to strong muscle tissue, and by rapidly contracting that muscle with immense force, the frog forces the severed bone shard to pivot and violently tear through the surface of its skin from the inside out. This process, which is essentially an act of chosen self-mutilation, represents a desperate, searingly painful choice made in an instant between enduring temporary, immense physical agony and facing certain, immediate death by being consumed by a jungle predator. Astonishingly, after the immediate predatory threat has successfully passed, the resilient frog undergoes a remarkable and efficient biological cleanup and healing process. Although the exact physiological mechanism of how the bones seamlessly retreat remains an open mystery to science, zoologists and scientists hypothesize that the severed bone fragments simply slide passively back into their original sheaths through the torn skin, and the damaged tissue surrounding the injury slowly but surely regenerates and heals over time. The sheer, uncompromising biological cost and determination required for this creature to willingly weaponize its own skeleton vividly highlights the intense, unrelenting pressures of natural selection constantly at work in its demanding habitat, primarily found exclusively within the high-humidity countries of Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon. the hairy frog displays a strong preference for cold, rushing, and highly oxygenated streams and swiftly flowing rivers, which are essential for its respiration. They maintain a strict, hidden nocturnal lifestyle, spending the dark hours foraging patiently for their specific diet, which consists primarily of various small insects, spiders, terrestrial slugs, and crunchy millipedes found near the water dot in a common pattern throughout the amphibian class. The males of this species are consistently and significantly larger than the females, a size difference that often correlates directly with territorial behavior and competition for mates during the crucial breeding season. The groundbreaking discovery of this unique and incredible bone-breaking defense mechanism only occurred relatively recently, thanks to years of detailed, patient observations and persistence in documenting their extremely elusive behaviors by dedicated field researchers. Imagine the profound shock and unforgettable experience of the first zoologist who actually witnessed this seemingly docile creature literally tear through its own living flesh and tissue in a primal, urgent bid for immediate survival. This bizarre, painful ability fundamentally challenges our existing understanding of biological pain thresholds and dramatically illustrates the extreme physiological lengths to which life will evolve to successfully preserve itself. Against all odds, the hairy frog's hidden secret is a stark, powerful reminder that even the most vulnerable or unassuming creatures in the wild possess truly incredible, shocking biological secrets hidden just beneath their outer surface. Sadly, the specialized lifestyle of the hairy frog is currently under severe threat due to rapid, widespread habitat loss and pervasive deforestation, which critically impacts the clean, fast-moving water they require for breeding and respiration. Dedicated, focused conservation efforts are now absolutely crucial to protect this unique species and ensure that future generations of researchers and enthusiasts can continue to learn about its bizarre, bone-breaking resilience and tenacity. Now, let's take a moment to compare this creature's self-sacrificing defense to other animals known throughout the world for their extreme survival measures and specialized weaponry. Does any other known animal in the world willingly match the necessary biological sacrifice and self-harm required to instantly activate this unparalleled and painful defense mechanism? While a common porcupine relies on external keratin quills and an armadillo uses hard, bony armored plates, the hairy frog consciously chooses to use its deepest essence. It sacrifices the integrity of its own skeleton. This shocking level of internal sacrifice specifically for external defense remains a staggeringly rare, deeply profound, and truly bewildering phenomenon in the entirety of the terrestrial animal world. Their specialized tadpoles are also quite remarkable in their own right, possessing a unique double row of powerful, sharp teeth which they expertly use to graze algae and biofilm directly off slippery rocks in fast-moving streams. This specialized, rock-grazing diet and unique morphology are essential adaptations that help them cling securely to submerged surfaces and effectively avoid being violently swept away by the aggressive river current. The radical biological journey from a humble, rock-grazing tadpole to a fully matured, bone-claw-wielding frog is certainly one of the most drastic and specialized transformations in the entire amphibian class. Their very existence offers irrefutable proof that sometimes the greatest, most astonishing strength is ultimately found in the willingness to push the body's own physical limits against a determined opponent. Every single time the hairy frog defends itself in this extreme manner, it faces the immense unavoidable risk of subsequent infection, potential chronic pain, and long-term injury, yet the raw, undeniable imperative of survival overrides all biological caution. What a profound privilege it truly is to study these bizarre and resilient creatures and gain a deeper appreciation for the boundless complexity of life they represent. Here with your hosts on Bizarre Creatures, We relentlessly aim to bring you the hidden, previously untold stories that large, mainstream nature documentaries often completely miss, focusing instead on the truly unbelievable and complex facts of the untamed wild. If this astonishing creature and its self-weaponizing defense mechanism have captivated your imagination and challenged your understanding of biology, then you are exactly the kind of curious, dedicated viewer we build Bizarre Creatures for. We consistently release brand new, thoroughly researched episodes every single week, each one diving into the unbelievable and sometimes unsettling secrets of a different bizarre organism. Don't miss our next shocking revelation. Smash that powerful like button right now to actively support our investigative mission and subscribe immediately to officially join the Bizarre Creatures research team. And finally, tell us in the comments section below, what completely impossible, jaw-dropping creature should we dedicate our full investigation to next?